Welcome to the Daily Beast podcast. I'm Joanna Coles, Chief Content Officer of the Daily Beast.
And I am Samantha Bee, Chief Operating Officer of the Melania K. Trump Center for the Performing Arts in beautiful Washington, D.C.
Are you going to do a gig there?
Am I going to do a gig there? Absolutely not. All forthcoming invitations, I think, have been rescinded.
I think before we go anywhere else, I just need to discuss the print on your cardigan and ask, what animal is that? Is it giraffe?
Obviously, it's a very rare polyester cheetah.
Polyester cheetah. They can run faster than regular cheetahs.
They're so slippery and aerodynamic. I did remark just before we started recording that our outfits clash as hard as two outfits can clash.
They're clashing. They're making noises, actually, for people who can't hear.
We're both
in the studio. They're actually screaming at each other.
It's so cold here. We're looking into our closets and going, what can I come up with today? I need to live.
Well, I am dressed up today because I am wounded by comments which said I looked homeless because I wore a hoodie with a blazer.
With a blazer?
Yeah, and actually it was a cashmere hoodie from Bloomingdale's.
That is a classic combination I don't understand.
Yeah. What do you mean you don't understand? How could you not understand? It's the most fantastic combination.
No, I'm saying I don't understand the negativity.
Oh, then it just said I looked homeless. So, point taken.
Wow.
I'm now wearing an Etre jacket, which is smart and which I got in the sale.
Okay.
I like to get my Etre jackets because they are very expensive.
That's a very smart jacket. I took a lot of flack over the years on Full Frontal for a lot of my different jackets, and I got called Sergeant Pepper a lot of times.
Sergeant Pepper.
Once you try to do something different, everybody just goes bonkers.
They do.
Today I'm doing a lot different because I hate everything in my closet and I want to take a flamethrower and burn.
No, don't do that. I'll come in and burrow through your closet. I'll find things in there. But we've got so much to discuss. It's just coming at us. And every week, obviously, we talk about the people and the stories that we're all obsessed with. And this week in the download, where we dive into some of the best Beast stories, we're talking to our very own CEO of the Daily Beast, Ben Sherwood, about this recent trend straight from hell, the uptick in plane crashes. And Ben is not only my partner at the Beast, he's the author of a book called The Survivors Club. Timely subject in so many ways. Are we going to survive America? Because he's going to reveal to us from his book the number one thing you can do to survive a plane crash.
Oh my God, I need to know that so badly. That plane crash in Toronto hit me very close to home.
Yeah, that was scary. And also the way it flipped upside down and then the flames poured out of the back.
I know, but I was you know what? I was like, if ever there was going to be a crash at Pearson International Airport, where from I hail, touch wood, hope it never happens again, everybody was belted in and safe and nobody was really overly injured. And so I'm very glad for that. Everybody listening to following the rules. A plane from Minneapolis going to Toronto, everybody's belted in.
Everybody's belted in.
Everybody's belted in. But I want to know.
They're doing the brace position, I'm sure. I don't mean to make light of it because actually two people were critically injured, I think.
Okay. Well, then scrap everything I just said. It's terrible.
God, you're just a thoughtless bitch.
God. You know what? But I'm so excited to talk about anything survival because I feel like I read a lot of survival things.
Of course you do.
Little handbooks. I'm always like, how do you start a fire again when you don't have any matches?
Right.
And I said in our comment thread this morning that I feel that you and I are two scrappy rats. We can survive anything.
Did I tell you about my prepper bag at the last election? I can't remember if I told you this.
We have a
2016
yes.
election. I got sort of involved in this group called the East Village Preppers. They sort of co-opted me and they were like, you must have a bag with food.
Yes.
It's coming. So they were like, you need $5,000 in singles. I mean, who even has cash anymore? And so I put this bag together. I thought, well, just in case they're right, I put this bag together. And then about 2 months ago, I found the bag and it was full of moth-eaten rice crackers and rice cakes, and it was just horrible. And then tons of tins of tuna, which of course are perfect because I'm a huge believer in hoarding tins of tuna in case of the apocalypse.
You know what? This is why we do a podcast together because I have multiple go bags in my home.
Of course you do.
And they're honest to Christ filled with tuna.
I know. It's like it's a superpower. Having a tin of tuna is a superpower at all times.
I thought the tins were too heavy, and I didn't want to lug them for the hundreds and hundreds of miles it would take to hike to Canada. So I got little sachets.
I was going to say, I have sachets of tuna. I have tins of tuna. I have big cans of mackerel. It's just like fish, bony fish, oily fish. It's very, very good
and
food.
I have a bone saw in case I need to kill every single person on the way to Canada.
I have a bone saw.
Yeah, I have so many weapons in it. Anyway.
So interesting. Okay, moving swiftly on. Just to let people know, we have a beast of the week. It's the unshakable, unflinching former CNN anchor turned independent media entrepreneur, Jim Acosta, who clearly has very stiff knees because he's refused to bend them.
They are locked.
They are locked. As CNN's White House correspondent, he made headlines grilling presidents, clashing with Trump, and getting his press pass temporarily revoked for asking too many inconvenient questions. And in 2021, he took over as CNN's chief domestic correspondent and anchor. But after nearly 2 decades at the network, he walked away, turning down a late-night time slot. And he's going to be here to tell us what he's doing now.
I'm so excited to speak with him. I've never spoken to him before. We've never met.
I haven't met him either. I have watched his new show.
Okay, great.
And I am curious. I really want to ask him about what it was like actually covering Biden as much as it was covering Trump.
Sure.
Because Trump, for all his faults, is ever present. Biden was never present.
Right. Well, I want to ask him what it's like when he's just casually taking an airplane somewhere and they need to do a passport check and they announce his name to the entire airport looking for him. I just wonder how many people look up and give him the evil eye. Because I was just in Florida, so I got the evil eye a lot.
We can ask him that. But first, I think we need to discuss Melania.
Oh, sure.
Will Melania be on the cover of Vogue? I was very intrigued by Amy Odell's excellent Substack, where she chronicles in myopic detail the fashion world, and in particular the comings and goings of Vogue, because she wrote a very good biography of Anna Wintour. But obviously the question on people's lips in fashion, because they're all stepping forward to dress Melania now, not all of them, but many of them, is will Melania, like Jill Biden and Michelle Obama, grace the cover of Vogue?
My guess is yes, but what does the article determine? I mean, no one can know.
Well, I think the article points to the fact that Anna Wintour was a huge fundraiser for the Democrats, and this is a problem. And she's taken Vogue very democratic. And so if you're Melania, do you actually want to be on the cover of Vogue? She was on the cover when she got married to Donald Trump. In fact, Anna Wintour helped make Melania, as she's helped make many dubious celebrities.
Is the feud between the two of them overstated or overblown? Do you know the nature of that? Because they obviously had a falling out, but wasn't it before he became president? I don't really know much about the details of it.
I don't know the details either, but I'm just curious as to whether or not Vogue will pull itself into the center, knowing that the fashion industry is now leaning into Melania and also sort of stepping back from its somewhat superior position of we're not going to dress her. Because the truth is, she is a fabulous clothes source. I mean, you may not like what she stands for, but in terms of showing off and out, you yourself got very excited over her skinny jeans look.
Well, I like that skinny jeans. The skinny jeans and the
skinny
combat
jeans
boots
look was good.
But as we discussed with Isaac Mizrahi, we are in a paper doll situation.
We are.
I don't know. But I mean, my guess is yes, because I don't know. Everybody's getting pulled into this orbit in one way or another, including Amazon making that documentary.
Well, let's discuss that. Yes. I mean, I was fascinated. Piece in the Wall Street Journal, which discusses how when Jeff Bezos goes down to Mar-a-Lago to bend his knee, Melania has dinner with him and raises the subject of her documentary, which she's excited to do. And then 3 weeks later, according to the Journal, Amazon coughs up $40 million.
$40 million.
$40 million.
Oh, the level of grift is so...
Can you just give us your impression of what it would be like to be Melania? I'll be Jeff Bezos, you be Melania, and you... Hello, Melania.
Hello, Jeff. I would like to make a documentary about my life and the transition into the White House of the Trump family, not so much in the past. They're not doing anything about her life leading up to it. It's all about moving into the White House and what it's like to be in the spotlight. I mean, literally.
Okay, but you're taking me out. You're out of character now because I want to respond as Jeff Bezos.
Oh, yes.
That sounds fascinating, Melania. I like the sound of it very much. I wonder if we could, in fact, come up with a line of clothes around the documentary. We could put Amazon fashion with that. We could do some supplements for you.
Okay, big surprise, Jeff. Brett Ratner is already living next door. I will ask him.
I would love to invite Brett Ratner to, in fact, direct the documentary.
This sketch is very good.
Well, what's fascinating is Netflix and Apple, I think, refused to bid for it.
Sure.
Disney offered, and again, according to the Journal, 15 million. And Jeff came in over the top.
Just over the top.
Melania, so we'll get back to our role play. Melania, I like this idea so much. I'm going to talk to our people at Amazon Originals, and we're going to come back to you with an offer you cannot refuse.
The price is $40 million.
Oh, it's cheap.
My impression is getting worse over time.
Prime.
It's actually...
I think it's a special Prime.
Good God.
They should make it only available to Prime people.
It's going to be... How am I going to watch it without watching it in my own Amazon
I'm going to come
Prime?
and watch it with you. We're going to watch it together, and I'm going to bring vodka.
I will only watch a bootleg version of it. I will not watch it. I'm not going to give them my eyeballs.
I don't think you're going to be able to avoid it. I think they're going to blast it.
Of course they're going to. I can avoid anything, Joanna.
I don't think so. I think we're
yes.
going to see the Kim Jong-un school of promotion for this particular documentary.
I'm not falling for it. I'm not weak.
Well, you say that now. Well, what did you think of my impression of Jeff Bezos?
I thought it was really good.
Thank
That
you.
was really,
Not
really
bad.
good.
Not bad at all, but not as good as yours. Okay, and then we've got the Pope getting sick.
I know. The Oscar campaign for a conclave is out of control.
And this is a campaign as good as Harvey Weinstein would do, even from a jail cell.
But I think I feel okay making that joke because he was up and doing meetings today.
Oh, he was good? Well,
Yes.
I saw he was reading the newspapers yesterday, so I thought, well, he must be feeling better.
He's rebounding.
And he said that he wants his successor to have similar values to him and be, speak for illegal immigrants as they, as the war against them heats up.
Just ask me. Ask me directly, Pope. God, I'll do it.
I found Conclave, which I quite enjoyed. 20 minutes too long, as I find everything.
I find everything to be 20 minutes.
Except
if
for a
not
podcast.
45 minutes too long.
Okay, you find it 45 minutes too long. It didn't have any women in it. They keep saying, oh, it's Stanley Tucci and Ray Fiennes and Isabella Rossellini. I'm like, Isabella Rossellini was in it for like less than 4 minutes, and everything she said was in service of the wannabe popes.
You know what I am very good at in life, and actually probably should have done this as a career if I was really looking at things? I'm very good at editing time out of movies. I'm very good at editing television shows and movies.
You could have taken a scalpel to this, I think.
I would take a scalpel to just about goddamn everything.
Excellent news.
Yes.
Can you take a scalpel to this jowly bit around here?
I can't. That's the one scalpel I can't do. Look at this. Oh, it's just like a little change purse down here.
What we should do is have facelifts together, and then we can do before and after on the podcast.
Oh, I'm sure that people will chime in with their opinions about the type of work that we both need and the fashion overhaul.
Well, we know that you use skincare from Clearance. Oops, no, that's Clarence. And then Elon Musk has had another baby since we last saw each other.
Great. Just great stuff. Great work. Really.
13th baby.
13th baby. And didn't one of his children say that they found out about it on Reddit?
Yes, I think she said if she had a nickel for every time she found out she had a new sibling on Reddit, she would have 2 nickels.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I've had it with these people.
And then what was kind of wonderful was that a text or a Twitter exchange then surfaced with the baby mama asking someone if they could introduce her because she really wanted to have a child with Elon, which 5 years ago might have looked a better idea than it does now. Because now the child will be put to work, obviously, instantly, either in the White House or at Doge.
I feel sad for the child that was in the White House the other day because he's going to be usurped. I mean, his time in the sun is over. Now he just goes back to being a regular child.
If I were Elon, I would strap the new baby in a papoose around his chest. And that way he can stroll through the White House and everybody will be admiring of him again.
Oh my God, these people. It's too much. It's too much. It's too much.
And I also loved the fact that Donald Trump called out the teenagers, the lost boys of Doge, for wearing T-shirts and saying they might have IQs of 180, but he wished they could dress better.
Well, I approve that message. I mean, look at us right now.
Exactly.
Just knocking it out of the park.
Paisley with a little line of
I know.
Little line of gold there.
Very genteel.
It did prompt someone to say, is he the white Nick Cannon?
That's
Elon Musk.
Well,
with his various children.
Just spreading his seed as God intended.
Did God intend that? I don't think God intended that.
Not my God.
Well, at least you have a God. I'm still looking. I would say I'm still looking. Now, listen, you're back from Florida.
I am. I did a big Planned Parenthood. I did the main fundraiser for Planned Parenthood of Central and Southern Florida last week. And it was an incredible event. They raised a lot of money and I met just some of the best people and I closed out the night. I am not a person who goes to I leave parties early. Like if I go to
I'm
a
amazed
party,
we can go to a party.
Yeah, if I go to a party, the beginning part is my part and then I leave. I do a little Irish exit and it's over. And I closed that party out just talking to everybody. They were all just the most interesting people. And they are under siege there in Florida, just surrounded by really anti-abortion activists and believers. They really are truly under siege. I was fascinated to learn that in a state with a 6-week ban, the state is very present in the clinic at all times.
How do you mean?
My understanding is that they hire like retired nurses and they are present in the clinics monitoring the timing to really get it exactly. Like once the clock starts on that 6 weeks, if you miss that 6 weeks by 30 seconds, that person, that client has to go all the way to North Carolina to get the services
so shocking what's
they need.
Happening to women's
it's shocking.
Reproductive
Yeah.
rights. It's so shocking.
It's shocking. Yeah, it's shocking. So anyway, it was a really fun event, raised a ton of money, and I met some of the best, just the most amazing people who I want to have deeper conversations with.
You think of these doctors who are so brave. There's now the doctor in New York who is being called for extradition to Louisiana because she sent abortion pills to a 17-year-old.
I know.
It's just terrible.
I was happy that Kathy Hochul was like, are you effing joking?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But this doctor can't leave New York State.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's very threatening. It's very, very threatening out there. It's quite dire.
Yeah, it's extraordinary. And it's a sort of war on sex. I mean, the thing I find so weird is that men would support this against women because men like having sex too. The thing that's so extraordinary, I think, for a European or a Canadian looking at the abortion laws in America is how it's all pushed onto women as if somehow women have sex on their own. It's as if they're stuck in the kind of Christian version of the the Immaculate Conception, where somehow men weren't involved in this.
Oh, yeah. And additionally, when you think about, well, okay, if you don't want unintended pregnancies happening, you would think that the educational system would kind of like bolster people's knowledge of their own bodies and people's knowledge of, you would think that you would have a companion educational, sex education system that would support people making choices in their lives that you personally approve of. But in fact, we're just basically, giving kids a Mrs. Potato Head and saying like, find the clitoris. Good luck.
But it's also interesting to me that it's not framed through the idea, which so much is in America, of men's economic issues.
Oh, I know.
So, why isn't it reframed as, do you want to look after a baby for the next 22 years?
I mean,
here's how much it will cost you. This is why you don't want to get your girlfriend pregnant.
I think that there is an overwhelming support of reproductive choice in this country. It's just that the people in charge, we're just electing the wrong people over and over again.
Yeah, Yeah, no, you're completely right. It's such a strange disconnect, though, from what people actually want.
Yeah.
And as we know, the majority of people who have abortions are mothers who are responsible, who don't want another child to look after because they know the money and the energy that it takes to look after a child well.
Yes, and even if you're not a mother with all of these children to support, like anybody should just have access to it. It's healthcare.
Yeah, of course.
Like it's just healthcare.
It's healthcare.
Oh, you know what? You got to go buy a suede jacket to just.
It's the
deal
only
with
thing
the-
I can do.
deal with the
It's
stress.
my self-soothing habit.
I know.
Is to buy suede right now. I don't understand what I bought 2 pairs of suede shoes and 2 suede jackets in the last 10 days.
You've got about 13 days to really rock that suede until it's all over, and then it's boiling hot. So
Well, it's very strange. And I've got a friend who now just buys bar carts. She said she gets into bed, she opens her computer and she starts searching for bar carts. To be fair, she has several homes, but she now has like 3 bar carts per home.
bar carts.
I know. I don't even have a bar cart. Who needs a bar cart?
You know what? I appreciate it. I loved our conversation with Amy Klobuchar when she talked about how she goes to the Container Store and buys little boxes to soothe herself.
Yep.
But bar carts is kind of next level.